going on, everybody? It is hashtag homeless day 87, and man, I got some stuff today. Almost every day I have another reason why when you see a homeless person refuse to stay in a shelter, there's a reason for that. And once again, I'm just going to ask you guys, would you rather voluntarily check yourself into prison to live in prison, following the rules of the prison and all the things that go on in prison, being treated by the guards like you get treated in prison, and all of those things? Or would you rather just take your chances outside in the middle of winter and, have to build a shelter for yourself so you don't freeze to death? I would choose number 2 at this point. This place is so ridiculous. So I skipped breakfast today because I couldn't stand to be around this place. I couldn't stand to be around the people once again. I was getting dressed this morning. I was fully dressed. I was packing up my laptop bag, and one of the people who work there comes into the room, the private room where I've been staying for, I'm going to say my estimate is about 3 weeks without looking up the exact date that I moved into that room. I would have to say it's been at least 3 weeks now. It's been a while. I've been talking about it for a while. I just got chewed out this morning, and I'm going to get in trouble because I had the window open last night. So on the 3rd floor of this building, it's about 90 degrees all the time. It's hot. And when I moved up there, they told me it was hot and you might want to open the window and get a fan and all that kind of stuff. So at night, it's not that bad. The air in Jamestown is pretty cool at night. It's not like a Florida, Texas, 90 degrees when the sun goes down situation. It gets cool at night. And so it's fine. I open the window about halfway, have a fan in the window pointed at me. It actually gets cold in that room sometimes. And so I get chewed out this morning for having the freaking window open. And I'm like, and so I looked at the guy and I'm like, well, since when am I not allowed to open the window in here? And he's like, well, since you've been in that room. And I'm like, the hell with that? Like, I'm opening the window because the people that work there told me to open the window. And now I'm getting bitched out and chewed out by this guy for having the window open. You're not supposed to have the window open. And, they've been trying to tell you this for weeks and all this other nonsense. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You need to back the fuck off. I was pissed. I was like, I'm getting fucking sick of being treated like a little fucking kid and having these rules that change every 2 or 3 days. And then I'm supposed to know what the rules are today because 2 days ago they were this and now 2 days later they're that. And so now I'm getting chewed out and yelled at because I had a window open because I don't like being in a room that's 90 fucking degrees. And so this is the kind of shit that they do nonstop at this place. They treat you like you're a stupid little kid, and they're constantly riding you and constantly, it's like people just want to have a reason. It's like these people feel like it's their job to find something to yell at you about and get mad at you about and chew you out for. And if they can't find something, they'll just make it up. It's just like living with my ex. That's what she would do. She would come home from work and, okay, fine, he did all the dishes. Now what? I'm looking around. Oh, wait, it would turn it. She would just hunt around the apartment for like half an hour, and I'd sit there and watch her. I'm like, what's she going to find? What's she going to bitch at me about today? And then all of a sudden she'd walk over to the corner of the kitchen. Why the hell do you have this speaker plugged into the wall over here? And it's kind of funny because yesterday, and I would have to say back to her because I'm charging the speaker, and when it's fully charged, I'll unplug it from the wall and put it away. So, hopefully that's okay with you right now. But if that's going to be too much, I'll unplug it right now. If this speaker is ruining your life being plugged into the wall over there, okay. But, and this will be the day after that I was looking for a place to plug something in over where my computer desk was. And she goes, oh, there's an outlet over here that you can plug something into if you need to. And that was the outlet where the speaker was plugged in the next day, and then she's throwing a temper tantrum because I have a speaker plugged into the outlet. So this is the kind of shit that I've been dealing with since the day I got out of prison. In fact, it's just like being in prison, because this is what the prison guards do to you. They find something. They're supposed to, like, they have a quota. When they search your cell, they're supposed to find something that you're not supposed to have and write you up for it or get rid of it and throw it away on you. So when you're in prison, if you're smart, what you do is you leave things sitting around. You leave things out specifically for them to find. It's a dumbass game, but in my case, I knew that they hated. We had these plastic cheese containers, and we had plastic bottles and stuff like that, and you weren't allowed to keep empty containers in your cell, even if you were using them to organize your stuff with and to keep your stuff clean and tidy and organized. And so I'd use these cheese containers for I would use them for like pencil holders. I would use them to keep my stuff organized. So I would leave little things like that all over the place, a few extra, an extra sheet or something like that. Anything that I wouldn't really get in trouble for, but that the guard, when they come to search your cell, can find and go, okay, I got my quota now. I can leave this guy alone. And so, but this is how petty, this is how fucking ridiculously petty this is. I'm getting bitched at now because I had a window open that I was told to open. I was told to open the window. And now they're saying, well, we're running the AC up there. Well, the AC is running and the rooms are still 90 degrees. In fact, somebody went up yesterday and opened all the windows of the entire floor and then shut them later on. So I don't know. I'm over it, but it's like all this. What the hell? When they gave me the private room, the director of the place said, you're the only person who's ever been here who never gets written up for anything. And she kind of looked at me and she goes, and these people write people up for pretty much anything. It's so ridiculous what they'll write people up for. Even she thinks it's ridiculous. And, but it is. It's like you got a situation where people think it's their job to find something to tattle on you about. And so now I'm getting tattled on because I had a window open in a room so my room wouldn't be 90 fucking degrees at night. So I don't know. I'm like so sick and tired of this shit that I'm skipping breakfast. I'm not doing it. I'm not going down there. And I just want to get out of here, man. I'm so sick and tired of Jamestown right now. So sick and tired. This place is so beat. Jamestown. It is, I say this every day, it's the worst place I've ever been in my life. It's the worst place I've ever been in my life. There's a guy, I'm just going off the cuff here. There's a guy in the comments every single day. He'll show up today. You'll see it down there. Bitches about this place in Oklahoma, Muskogee, Oklahoma, or something like that. Every day it's, I hate Muskogee. Muskogee sucks, blah, blah, blah. Muskogee, Oklahoma doesn't get down to negative 20 degrees and 6 feet of snow in the middle of winter. I can assure you of that. Muskogee is not Jamestown. It's not. I would much rather live there than Jamestown if I had the chance. So any place south, the further south you go when you're homeless, the better. So, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for this getting jerked around by probation, I would have already left here. I would have already put my backpack on and started walking south. I mean, back in June, I had a lot of time. I could have walked all the way to Florida. I could have walked all the way to South Carolina. I could have walked someplace where winter isn't going to be a big problem. I don't know. Things happen for a reason. God... I don't know, God. I hope you got something for me out of this trial that you're putting me through, because it's getting unbearable. It's getting unbearable. Like I said, everything in this town, it's terrible. The gossip. I got dished a bunch of gossip yesterday. Was it? I think it was, yeah, yesterday was Friday. Yeah. I got dished a bunch of, no, It's Friday. It's 2 days ago. I can't keep track of time anymore to save my life. I dished a bunch of gossip about, I didn't want to talk about it on Friday. I talked about it on Friday. And it's just like, this place is, somebody else came up to me at the shelter saying that social services is making that person try to look for an apartment. And he's like, where do I look? He got a job. And he's just about to start the job. And he's like, once I get a couple paychecks, I'm going to go get an apartment. And they'll give it, you can get an apartment if you have a job, but there's only 10 to pick from. So, I mean, good luck, but somebody will rent them to you if you have a job, I believe. But it's kind of crazy that there's 10 apartments in all of Jamestown it's the same 10 places over and over again every time I check the listings online. It's the same 2 fucking landlords that own all of them. And social services says I have to find 5 new ones every week. Well, it's the same 10. It's over and over. Every time I look, it's the same. I look at the address. I have a tracker that I'm tracking them with when I apply to these things, and when I send inquiries out, I write, they're written down. And so every time I double check, and I'm like, yeah, all 10 of these I've already talked to the landlord about. Landlord doesn't want to give me the time of day because I don't have a job. Even though I have a housing voucher or whatever from social services, that's only going to be good for like the first month, first maybe 2 months. And then what? Then I'm out on the street. And now I've got my reputation burned by a landlord who had to throw me out in the street because I couldn't pay rent. And then what am I going to do from there? So they're just jerking me around. And I said, you know what, to hell with you. I stopped turning in the housing search forms. I still go to the stupid job searching stuff, and I still do the other things I'm supposed to do. But as far as this housing search is concerned, I've told them to go pound sand. And if they want to take away my money, fine. I don't care at this point. Something else. God, I feel like God is telling me to do this, because what am I supposed to do? I'm like, God, what am I supposed to do? It's the same 10 apartments. Every time I look, within 2 weeks, I found all 10, and they want me to find 5 new ones every week. Well, here's the 10. Here's the same. What do you want me to do? Turn in the form with the same 5 apartments every week? But the funny thing is, for weeks and weeks and weeks, these apartments are still available. They're not being rented out. And these landlords, when I talk to them, they're like, well, we want you have to have at least a 650 credit score and debt to income ratio, and you need to make at least this much, and blah, 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 for a fucking roach infested studio apartment in the crack district of Jamestown. You're going through this much scrutiny to find a tenant in a slum apartment in the middle of, boarded up window, crack house, Jamestown. And now it's been, a month and a half, and that apartment's still sitting there vacant. I mean, that's your fucking problem, dude. That's your problem. That's not my problem at this point. And at this point, if they're still going to be jerking me around, letting me think that I can move to Texas, we'll get around to doing that paperwork sometime. Maybe this week. I'll get some good news there. I don't know. It's been a week since they did the inspection of my friend's house where I'm supposed to be staying, and they told him they approve of it. They're like, oh yeah, this is fine. It'll be good. This will be good. We approve. We just have to do some paperwork now. That's what we were told. And so, but he specifically said, well, this isn't 100%. We still have to do the paperwork, and they could still deny it, is what I'm getting at. So until they say green light, go, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in this place. I can't cross. If I could cross the Pennsylvania border, I would have already walked out of here. I would have already walked. I would have put on a backpack. I would have just started walking. I don't know how far south I'd go, but I wouldn't be here. But yeah, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I woke up on the right side of the bed today. I got all cleaned up and shaved and everything, ready for church, ready to have a good time today, ready to meet a potential client who watches this channel. And, so I ain't got to worry about that. Like, some people on the channel in the comments are no client's going to want to deal with you after they see your YouTube channel. It's like, oh, my people are going to want to deal with me after they see my channel. That's the ticket right there. By doing what I do and by being myself, therefore I will attract the people to work with me that I actually want to work with and that I will actually get along with. See, there's a secret to this. It's the same. I did the same thing when I was on this dating website. I got sick and tired of talking to women that I didn't get along with and that I would have nothing in common with and would never want to have any kind of anything with. And this was during the COVID scam with the whole masks. And I'm telling you, man, 80% of the women on this dating site were wearing masks in their fucking profile pictures. I'm like, you're not even going to show me because this is what your face looks like from now on. I gotta go out on a date with Darth Vader now. Like, and like, maybe if I'm lucky, I get to take off your mask and see what your face looks like. Like, get out of here. So I put this extremely obnoxious profile up about how I'm not taking the vaccine, about how I'm never going to wear a mask, and if you're a dumbass sheep, go away. And then I had like sheep emojis going about it. I mean, I don't even know the exact wording, but it was obnoxious. It was so obnoxious that I didn't meet any women on the app. I didn't get any more matches on the Swipe Right app. But the key is when I did get a match, the first thing that the woman would say, oh my God, that profile was so hysterical. I agree with everything you said. We need to meet sometime, blah, blah, blah. And it worked. It worked. I met some compatible women because of what I did. But nothing, eventually I met the one that I was in the relationship with when I went to prison. And up to that point, and up to about a month before I got out of prison, this was the best relationship I ever had in my life. And so everything that happened leading to me being homeless, I mean, this turned into the worst. It went from the best relationship I ever had in my life to the worst human being I've ever known in my life. And it happened in the blink of an eye. And I don't know. All I know is that the gossip mill, there's a gossip mill in this town. And there's a lot of people that know what happened who I don't even know. And they're all saying that she's a piece of trash for what she did to me, that I didn't deserve that. And why would you do that to somebody and all this stuff? And I'm like, yeah, that's great. I guess whatever. It's like, I guess it's good to know, but it doesn't really help me at all right now. And so at the end of the day, I don't really care anymore. But up until things went bad in that relationship, it was the best relationship I ever had. We got along like it was, I can't even explain it. It was so good. And that's what because people who know what happened that got me out on the street, they're like, how would you be with a woman how would you be with somebody like that? And I'm like, because it wasn't like that. That's how I ended up with someone like that. This came out of left field. And, but it all started because I was extremely obnoxious and I was sick and tired of all this nonsense. And so I put up a dating profile on a dating app that was just completely obnoxious and completely blasted all the people who were going along with this nonsense. And it attracted the right people into my life at the time. And so being yourself and the whole branding thing, the hardrockbrand.com, all of it, it will attract the right people to come work with me. It will turn turn some people away, and that's fine. Those are the people I don't want to work with. If I'm being picky, right now I'm not picky. I will do anything. I will clean toilets. I'll get a job at a factory. I don't care. Nobody will give me the time of day right now, so I have to do something else. And also, the federal government's keeping me in limbo, making me wonder day after day after day, week after week after week, and now month after month after month. Well, we don't know what city we're going to let you live in, so just hang tight. Do what you can for now. So all these things are just, I'm not going to lay down and die. Fuck these people. Fuck them. The government, you can all go suck a dick as far as I'm concerned. I'm getting sick of this, but I'm not going to lay down and die like you people want me to. And I know you're watching. I know you're watching because this is what I wrote down to talk about today, because I see you in the troll section down in the comments every day. If you've been in this game, if you've been in I've been an activist for a long time, and I've done things like that. What's up? And how's it going? Yeah, it's cool. Where was my train of thought? Oh. So yeah, I mean, people have been in the game for a while. I used to do some podcasting. I've had some controversial websites back in the day. I've done things in my life. And you'll draw attention to yourself. Unwanted attention. Because, there's a lot of government-sponsored trolls out there who are paid. These people are paid to show up on social media and provoke people. And if not just to provoke people, but to spy on people and collect information about people. I was involved in some things, media, that brought attention to myself. The government was sending people in my life to spy on me, collect information from me, all that kind of stuff. Act like they're my friend, but they were really, sponsored by the CIA or the FBI. A lot of it had to do with people I was working for, and this is stuff for another video, but it will be talked about. I just got to formulate my thoughts around it and how I'm going to talk about it. But there are government people out there who are paid to show up on social media and provoke people. When I got arrested, the reason why the FBI were quote unquote tipped off is because there was an organization that decided to bookmark my social media sites and started watching and spying on everything I was doing. And then they were collecting like a dossier about me and some other people on Gab. And then they were just sitting there waiting until I went and said something that they could say, okay, look what he did. And I forget the name of the organization, but it's a name. You can look it up. You can probably look it up when you look up the media reports about my arrest. And I didn't even know about this until my lawyer brought it to me while I was in jail. She was like, you want to know who tipped off the FBI and who got the FBI to go to your house? It was basically a snitch organization, a nonprofit group of snitches. And they're probably nonprofit. They're probably paid by the government. So they do this. They come out there. Look what they're doing in the United Kingdom now. They're arresting people and putting people in prison for 20 months for posting memes. There's a guy in federal prison right now here in America. He's in federal prison right now for posting memes. Okay? You don't even have to post threatening statements anymore. You can post the wrong meme and they'll put you in prison for it now. And that's in America. And if you thought, oh, what they're doing over in the UK, that's horrible. We've got a Muslim who raped a 13-year-old girl and he got probation, and then somebody posts a meme and they go to prison for 20 months. So, you tell me if there's any justice out there, because believe me, there's not. But anyway, You got these government trolls. They're paid to show up on social media and provoke people and spy on people. And just like the agent provocateurs running around Washington, D.C. on January 6th and running around our cities during the 2020 riots, they're the ones that are starting the fires and breaking the windows and getting the people all riled up. And then when the cops come in to start cracking heads, when it's a bunch of leftists and Democrats, the cops just stand back and let them do it. But if a right-wing protest were to start somewhere and someone starts breaking windows and throwing bricks at the cops and stuff like that, 100% guarantee that's going to be one of the cops, an undercover, probably wearing high-tech boots and probably a few other telltale signs that this is an actual cop, an agent provocateur, someone who was sent in to get the crowd all riled up and to do violent things so that they can slip back out right before the cops come in and start busting heads. They do this all the time. This is one of the playbooks for, Stalinist and communist and totalitarian regimes. This is right out of the playbook. And so we see this garbage over and over again. And it goes all the way back. You can go back to the 1990s, to the World Trade Organization riots out in Seattle and things like that. And it's the same pattern over and over again. So when you see these idiotic trolls showing up on my channel and on other channels, keep in mind that there's a good chance that these are paid actors, paid for by the same folks that are paying people to show up at a Kamala Harris rally and paying people to promote her on their social media channels, because nobody in their right mind would do it on their own without some sort of financial compensation, not for her. And so keep in mind, these people are showing up all over YouTube and social media, and they're there to provoke you. They're there to try and poke the bear. They're trying to goad you into saying something, to crossing a line legally where now they can justify having the FBI goon squad show up at your house in the middle of the night with a tank to smash it all to hell, like they did at my house. They're trying to push you into making some sort of statement that can be construed as a threat if you're online. So don't do it. Don't fall for it. I will troll right back to these people, but I'm not threatening them. I don't believe in violence. I didn't believe in violence when I said the things that I said. I just said some stupid things that day. Things came out of my mouth that should have been shared between friends, just venting, blowing off steam. And that's what I thought I was doing that day. I was saying things with my friends, my quote-unquote online buddies, preaching to the choir, sitting around the campfire, saying fucked up things that people say when they're sitting around the campfire talking to their friends. I just did it in the wrong forum. I guarantee you that 2/3 of the trolls that you see showing up on my YouTube channel, I guarantee you if you could trace their IP address, it would lead right back to an FBI office somewhere in Pittsburgh, where my case is based out of, or maybe even Washington, D.C., where they monitor everybody and what they're doing. All they're trying to do is provoke you into saying some sort of violent rhetoric and giving a response that they can snap a screenshot of and throw it into some other bullshit indictment. So go ahead, you trolls, keep showing up, because all you're doing is drawing more traffic to my channel. You're getting me more views. You're drawing more subscribers, and I'm getting more advertising revenue, and this will just keep growing and growing. So keep doing what you do. I don't care. I don't block you. I don't hide you. Just whatever. Do what you're going to do. I'm just going to take a moment to thank all of you Stasi and SS and KGB assholes for your hard work and service to this country. Y'all have the same MO. You all have some dumbass screen name with a bunch of random letters and numbers because you're too lazy and uncreative to come up with a good screen name. And then when someone clicks on your profile, they're shown an empty account with 0 subscribers. So why don't you just log out and come back in with a screen name that says, FBI ICU CUL8RB42NITE. And if you can't figure out what that means, then, but at least it's, you can even get creative with the random letters and numbers that you stick on the end of your ridiculous screen names. So, don't worry. I'm still going to troll you back right up to the extent that the First Amendment allows me to do. And then I'm going to stop. So the only way that you're going to stop me from having an online presence this time is to extradite me to the United Kingdom for the felony of posting memes on Twitter. Because that's what they're threatening to do over there. The UK is threatening to have people extradited from the United States to Britain to go to prison for posting memes on Twitter now. Now do you understand why we kicked these people out of this country 250 years ago? My God. Who do you people think you are? People are going to prison for posting memes now in the UK for 2 years, while Muslims who rape children are being set free, and the excuse was, well, he didn't know it was illegal to rape little girls. I'm not even making this up. That's really happened. And now the police forces in the UK are threatening to extradite people in the United States over posting memes. So once again, I'm glad we kicked you redcoat idiots out of this country 250 years ago, well before I was born, because you people are out of control. But like I said, if you don't think that's going to happen here in the United States, think again. You're watching an example of someone who got thrown in federal prison over social media posts. And after they were done with that, they threw another guy in prison for posting memes here in America. I'm not making this up. And aside from that, the FBI showed up at a guy's house in Utah a while back, and they killed him over a single Twitter post because he went and said that people should get their sniper rifles ready for when Biden comes to town. And that's all he said in the post. And I'm not saying that he should have said that on Twitter. I'm not saying that he should have said that. But I just saw examples yesterday of politicians threatening us, threatening the American people with violence. These are congressmen and senators in Washington, D.C. right now. I don't know exactly what they said, so I'm not going to repeat it. If I had a chance to copy and paste it and put it in my notes, I would read it word for word. But I've saw multiple posts where congressmen and senators are threatening us with violence, threatening the American people, and that's okay. But if you post something on Twitter that says, hey, you might want to have your sniper rifle ready when Joe Biden comes to town, the FBI will show up at your house and kill you for that. They killed the guy. And to this day, they haven't explained what happened. They're just like, well, we killed him. Because the news cycle in America is 3 days and then everybody forgets. So whatever happened that day, all they had to do was wait 3 days. Everybody forgets, and that's in the rabbit hole of another thing we'll never know. So, just like when Trump got shot in the head. Trump got shot in the head 3 days later. They're like, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, that's where we're at right now. I'm still convinced to this day that the FBI came to my house to kill me and to kill my son that night. Because that's exactly what these people do, and that's what they intended to do. The only reason that I didn't die that night is the grace of God himself. But if you ever think I'm going to wake up and feel like justice was done in my case, or that I deserved to go to prison for 2 years over saying some disgusting and vile things that I regret saying, things that I should have never said, and I'm never going to sit here and say that was a good thing for me to do. But to go to prison for 2 years, lose my ability to ever hold a job again, not even at Burger King, spend the rest of my life on the streets, homeless because of it, well, if you believe that I deserve that, you can go fuck yourself, because I'm never going to make that claim myself. Nobody deserves that kind of punishment for saying stupid words. And I would say that about the Democrats that got arrested for saying that they wished that the shooter didn't miss Trump. I would say that about them too, that they don't deserve to go to prison for 2 years for that. Like, back in the day, things like that, you might get a scary knock on the door from the Secret Service or whatever, and, you know, we're watching you, blah, 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 and then they leave, and then, you know, you keep your mouth shut from then on. But now you post a meme, you post a meme, and they come and kick down your door and take you to prison for posting a freaking meme. So I was sentenced to here's the thing. I was sentenced to 2 years in prison, and I shared a cell with a guy who was sentenced to 14 months in jail for killing another person. Okay? I got 2 years for mean tweets. This other guy got 14 months for killing a person. And you're going to tell me that I got justice? Get the fuck out of here. Another guy in my jail, when I was first in jail, he was in jail because he called in a bomb threat to a major building in downtown Pittsburgh, and they had to evacuate the building and go through all this stuff because of it. And guess how much time he got in jail for calling in a bomb threat, threatening to kill a whole building full of people, where the building had to be evacuated, the fire department, the police, all this stuff, a major response, a major incident. He got 2 weeks in jail, and then he was sentenced to probation. 2 weeks in jail for that. So if you think I deserved this, I don't got anything else to say other than fuck you. I'll never say that what I did was right or anything but stupid or an unwarranted, vile, reflecting a hate for people that should have never been expressed the way that I did. But if you think I'm going to sit here and agree that the punishment I was dished out was deserved, no, I'm not. I'm not. And I'll say it right to your face if you want to show up and have that conversation face to face. I don't care. I'm over it. But definitely keep that in mind, everyone. But when you see people trying to provoke you on social media, and if you're out at a protest or at a rally and you see people trying to rile up the crowd and starting to act violent and all those kinds of things, there's a more than 50% chance that it's a federal agent, purposely trying to provoke you into saying something that crosses their line to where they can show up with a tank to your house and snipers and body armor covered goons to take you out. That's what it's for. That's what they're doing. So, you know, I keep talking about being stuck here in Jamestown and homeless and all this other stuff. And there's no opportunity in Jamestown. And there were some comments yesterday. There was a comment yesterday. I get lots of comments about Jamestown. But City Sleuth 57134, I'm not going to say everybody who has a screen name with a bunch of random numbers at the end of it is a Fed. But when you see these trolls showing up with these made-up screen names, and then you click on their profile and there's nothing there, well, there you go. There's a chance that they are. And believe me, they're watching me. They're watching my every move. They're watching these videos. They're sitting at their desk in the FBI headquarters, waiting and tapping on their chair like, oh, he's about to do it. He's about to say something. Oh, I get. Well, maybe next one. Maybe next week we'll get them. But good luck, guys. But City Sleuth 57134 says, as you're seeing, that area is pretty bad. Speaking of Jamestown, from the people to the environment, the local government is also very corrupt, especially the CCIDA. A lot of the cronyism from the ultra-wealthy business owners flows into the local government, and it's part of the reason that the town can't grow. And you are exactly correct. You are exactly correct. In fact, you triggered... I sent you 3 responses to your thing yesterday because I know so much about this place because of the person that brought me here. And when I say everything they do in this town, I mean everything they do in the town of Jamestown is to cater to a bunch of rich assholes who come here to spend 3 months out of the year here. In this one town, Lakewood, that is one of the nicer neighborhoods, but it's not part of Jamestown. They completely decimated the neighborhood, installing these fancy paver bricks on the main drag in town. They put businesses out of business because of the construction and the perpetual construction, just to put fancy bricks in the street. And then the funny thing is, every winter these plow trucks come through because of all the snow we get here, and they tear all the bricks up and they pull the bricks out of the street and they completely decimate it. And so every spring they have to shut the street back down and put up chain link fences everywhere, make it so nobody can park, and drive more businesses out of business so that they can come and put the bricks back in place that got mangled and chewed up and ripped out all winter. And it's all because some rich cunt from the Chautauqua Institution decided that she wanted fancy bricks on the streets in Lakewood, a neighborhood where they don't even live. And so this town, Jamestown, man, I lived in Pittsburgh, where you have real generational wealth. You know, you got the Hines family, you've got the Carnegies or the Carnegies. They say Carnegie in Pittsburgh. Everybody else says Carnegie. I don't know which one's right. You've got the Frick, you know, who worked with Andrew Carnegie. You've got the Mellon family. You've got some serious generational wealth in Pittsburgh. But you don't see this gap between the rich and the poor anywhere close and as drastic as you see here in Jamestown. You know, there's a much more variety of wealth in Pittsburgh. You've got a middle class. But here in Jamestown, you've got a bunch of ultra-rich assholes who spend 3 months out of the year living in a highly secure, gated community surrounded by a bunch of condemned buildings and houses with streets filled with homeless people shitting in the river. And that's all you got. You got the homeless people shitting in the river and the ultra-rich living in this gated community, isolated from all of that, with a giant wall surrounding it. And these are the same people that don't want us to have a wall on the border, but they've got a 20-foot high wall with security guards and guard towers guarding their gated community here in Jamestown so that the riffraff can't come bother them. But these are the people telling you that we can't have a wall on the border. Once again, you know, Jamestown is by far the most awful place I've ever been in my life. It's the worst place I've ever seen. Cannot wait to leave this place. So Friday, they had this really big car show on the main street in town. So once again, you see all these rich assholes showing up with their fancy $500,000 cars to park them on the main street of Jamestown so that all the poor homeless people can come gawk at their cars. The cars are all parked in front of empty, condemned buildings, half of which don't even have windows anymore. But then they turn around and drive back to the Chautauqua Institution after peeling out and leaving burned rubber tracks all over the main street. Like, I'm a car enthusiast, and I shoot tons of auto racing and car shows. I take my cameras out for all that kind of stuff. And Friday, I would not pull my camera out of the bag to take one photo of the cars here. I walked through, I saw a few cars. I just kept on walking. I did not want to be around that place at all. At all. Jamestown, because I'm disgusted. These people are scum of the earth, and why do I want to take a picture of your car? Like, I want to be away from you. I want to get away from this town. I want to get so far away from this town that I will never set foot in it again. I never want to come back here again. So, it's a lot. There's a lot of negativity in today's video. But, you know, it reflects the times we're living in. But I am thankful for this channel and the virtual friends and the possibilities, and you people keep showing up to watch these videos. And if you made it this far, awesome. Thankful that I have my good health and I can walk wherever I go. I'm down to one pinky toe that still hurts and is in pain. It's been a week of pain. It's been a week since I went to buy these new boots, and now I'm down to one toe that has to heal. And it's getting there. It's just, if I could get off my feet for a week, it would do a lot of good for me. But, you know, I had to leave the shelter this morning because I got chewed out for having a window open because I don't like being in a 90-degree room. So, anyway, Thankful for my good health, like I said. I'm thankful. I go back and forth with this one because I'm thankful that I don't have to sleep outside. And I took a shower this morning. I shaved. I took advantage of the things that I can take advantage of at the shelter, but nothing free comes without a cost. I had to be treated like a stupid little kid and get screamed and yelled at for having a window open by a guy who just barges into my room. There's no privacy. I'm not allowed to shut the door. I have my own room, but I have to keep the door open, and not cracked open, but open. All times, anytime I'm in that room, they basically may as well take the doors off the hinges and just have an open doorway, because you're not allowed to shut the door and have privacy when you're there. It's another thing. This place is just fucking trash. I'm sick of it. Sick and tired of being treated like a little kid. I'm sick and tired of being forced to go live in a prison because my ex-girlfriend was a piece of trash. Like, that really pisses me off. Why don't they make her go live in this place and I'll take the apartment? But then I can't pay the rent, so I guess that's not going to work either. So I haven't gone hungry. Not once since the day I walked out of that place. And I've got equipment. I got the means. I'm starting a business. I'm still looking for a job. I have the means to keep putting one foot in front of the other and trying to get out of this mess. I just hope God's got some plan that he's working on, because he says he's not going to give you more than you can bear. I'm there. I've reached that point. So I don't know. If something doesn't break loose in the next couple of weeks, I don't know. I don't know. There's a point where you can't bear it anymore. And, but I am, on that front, I'm glad that I found a good church. There was a guy at church yesterday who reached out to me. I haven't gotten back to him. I'll see him today. He wants to let me borrow a nice bicycle so I have a way to get around town. And I'm probably going to say, well, this laptop bag that I carry around, it's not compatible with riding a bike. These boots I got on my feet are really not conducive to riding them. It's nice to know that people want to help. And if I had a job, if I could get a job here, I would ride a bike to the job every single day. I have access to a bicycle if I have a job. I have my own bicycles in Pittsburgh that if I got a job here, somebody would bring my bicycle up and help me with that. So, but it's good to know. It's nice to know that people care and they want to help. And so that helps me get through the day. Your comments, your overwhelmingly positive comments here in the comments section on these videos helps me get through the day. Hopefully this video doesn't get banned because I said things that you're not supposed to say on YouTube. And I'm sure there's going to be some sort of warning graphic below the video because you talk about the wrong things, and then they say, oh, this guy is giving you misinformation. It is our job at YouTube to let you know that you shouldn't be watching these videos, blah, blah, blah. But we're still going to put our ads on them and make our money from it. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. The standard plugs. The mailing list is free.litgood.com. I'm working on putting together a deal for you guys. I got the 20 images up. I still can't get the 3 photos linked to my YouTube channel, but that's down to 2 photos that I can't link to the YouTube channel now. One of the photos, whatever was going wrong, got fixed. And I was able to post it. So now I've got 18 of the 20 photos on the shop tab of my YouTube channel. But for some reason, the photo of the bridge in Pittsburgh is still denied. It's still being censored because for some reason, YouTube doesn't want you looking at a bridge. So if you want to go see the bridge in Pittsburgh at night that YouTube doesn't want you to see, that's it. shop.litgood.com. Go check it out. Go check it out. YouTube doesn't want you to see this bridge. So I don't know. Go check it out. Let me know if you can figure out why my bridge is being censored on YouTube. And with that, I'll plug the digital chicken bucket, the virtual chicken bucket, which is located at donate.litgood.com. If you just want to throw a few bones in the chicken bucket, I appreciate it. I'm going to have to go to Crazy Tim Hortons at some point in the next day or two. So, I mean, every iced coffee helps because you got to buy something to use the bathroom and sit there for a few hours. And so if I pay $4 for an iced coffee, a big giant iced coffee, I can sit there all day getting my work done using their Wi-Fi for free, getting covered in flies, listening to the Las Vegas casino sounds coming from the kitchen area, and listening to the coworkers scream and yell at each other all day long. And, you know, watching the homeless people pee on the floor and all the other things that go on in there. But I can't do it without that iced coffee. So I thank you all for that. And once again, I'm not even going to promote the other social media stuff. I'm just going to say, go check out Twitter. If you want to see the reason that I'm getting extradited and sent to the United Kingdom to go to prison, go to Twitter and see the memes that I've been posting, because that will be the reason why. And with that, I'm just going to let you all go. I'm going to do a quick time check and see if we're under an hour. Yeah, we're at 51 minutes now, so I hope y'all have a good week. I hope y'all have a good day. I don't know when I'm going to get around to posting this video today. It's probably going to be late, but by the time you got here, you've seen it. So who cares? I hope y'all have a good day. I hope y'all accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And unless something goes terribly wrong, I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace out.